Renaissance Man, and you're watching my show, Cancel This, here at Season 92.9. The phone number here, area code 309-451-9299. Again, that number is 309-451-9299. Also, be sure to check me out on YouTube right now. Go onto YouTube if you're at home behind a computer, type in Modern Renaissance Man, and you will see a thumbnail that says Breaking Larry Elder Powerful Interview on The Breakfast Club Destroys the Agenda. Okay, when you do that, you click on that thumbnail, you will see me in the studio. I can see you, you see me, and we are having a good looking time. Okay. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, again, I welcome you all here. Be sure that if you're tuning in through the internet on YouTube, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. That right there puts this video into the YouTube algorithm. It is you guys' way of being able to push the truth out there. Also, I would urge you all to check your cell phones, right? You all have cell phones. Whoever is like-minded like you, who has a brain to critically think, who has the brain to research and come up with their own opinions, let people in your contact know about this channel. Let them know about Cities 92.9's YouTube channel. Let them know about Kev Ferris at Speechless here on the same exact radio station. Let them know about Kat Peterson, right? Check all of that out, ladies and gentlemen. And again, I welcome you all to the show, and I thank you all for being here. All right. With that being said, it is a beautiful day here in the Midwest, depending on where you're at. So if you are out and about driving, maybe driving by a lake and just chilling, hopefully you're tuning in right now to this show right now. And I appreciate you looking at me through the internet. All right, folks. So there's a few things that's going on today that I want to talk to you guys about. Mainly, it's the topic, which you see posted today. I had a lot of people, a lot of friends, a lot of family that wrote me. And I already kind of did a short video on this already, but they wrote me and asked if I can talk about it on the radio, because a lot of you who are in disagreement with my take on this, I absolutely told you guys I will do this as a radio show. And I highly doubt the ones that told me y'all were going to call in and y'all want to kind of, I don't like to use the word debate, but we're going to have a constructive conversation, because debate kind of sounds so harsh. We're going to debate. It has like a negative connotation to it. So it makes you think that we're just going to get on here to simply argue. But what I am saying, a lot of you that do this, you guys never do. So I have no expectations of any of you calling in to refute some of the different clips and things you guys are going to hear today. But before I get on this, and that is with Larry Elder going on to The Breakfast Club. If you guys don't notice, The Breakfast Club is a very popular podcast/radio show, like Cities 92.9. Yeah, very popular show. They got a guy on there that calls himself Charlemagne the God. He's very well known in the radio world. He's very well known amongst, I'm just being real, he's very well known amongst blacks. Okay. He's very well known because he was the one that Joe Biden made a comment to, and he had a chance to shut Joe Biden down when Joe Biden said to him, tell you what, if you don't know if you for me or Trump, then you ain't black. It was Charlemagne the God, he called himself, is who Joe Biden said that to. But we're going to get to that a little later. What I want to talk about first and foremost, though, is something that's going to lead right into this very topic. Okay? Now, a lot of you that are tuning in, ones that have emailed me, you guys all see me appear on some panels where we talked about a lot of things that's plaguing the community. And we delved so deep into it that, ladies, I'm just being honest, particularly the sisters, y'all became heavily offended. And when it all came down to it, we know that fatherlessness can lead to destruction of children, right? We all talked about that. We're going to get into that a little later. But what we did, we actually showed them stats of how, if there is to be single parents, single mothers, check this out. If the child had the mother and the father in the home, the child has a huge percentage to be successful, a huge percentage to not get in the streets, get on drugs, drop out of school, et cetera, et cetera. When that child is with both parents. Then we also saw that if that child is with the father only, those outcomes are practically the same. When the child is with the mother, it's almost a complete reverse. They have a huge percentage of dropping out, getting into drugs, being incarcerated, Uh, deleted. If you don't know what deleted means, it's a word that rhymes with ill and it starts with a K. Why are you saying it like that, Ty? Because on YouTube, if you say certain words like that, they instantly demonetize your channel. Okay? Just want to throw that out there for you guys. Okay? So, my point in saying that is this. If you have both parents in the house and the child has a high percentage of being successful, and if that child only has the father in the house, high percentage chance of being successful. The child only has a mother in the house, very low chance of being successful. What does that tell you guys? That tells you that the man being in the house has such an influence, has such an authority over the child that the child is less likely to fail, to get in trouble, to end up with bad people, do drugs, the whole nine, right? When we presented those statistics, the sisters lost their minds. That don't mean nothing. Just because y'all did, it could be this. Well, the only reason why y'all ever did. I mean, they came up with every excuse. And what was really interesting, I was very cool and calm about it. When those ladies started fussing because they got in their emotions, that's what a lot of ladies do. I'm just being real. I'm not being no patriarchal, chauvinistic, misogynistic. I'm just being honest and being real. I know y'all don't get to hear this everywhere. I know in the world we live in today, common sense has been gone. But ladies, you guys are very emotional. If there are real women out there listening to me and watching me, you guys are nodding your head. Yes, we are. If that's just like me, if I was to say men can be very aggressive and violent, if people made a statement like that, I would be nodding my head. That is true. Okay, let's leave it at that. Women are very emotional. A lot of things women do is based off emotion, not logic. Okay, a lot of things. I didn't say all now, but a lot. So my point is saying is this. A lot of them instantly did what you guys do by nature. You guys became very emotional. That don't mean that. That's because y'all did. And y'all don't, baby. If y'all went out there doing this, then we wouldn't have to do this. If we would instantly became victims. But I kept on saying, I'm not going to let you guys deflect from that. Answer my question. Why is it that if a single father has children, they have a huge success rate? If a single mother has children, they don't. If the mother and father have their children married together, if they're in the house with the kid, even if they're not married, if they're just together in the home, the child has a high success rate. What does that do to? Well, that's because as a team they can. Well, if that's your argument, then why is it that when a man does it by himself, still the same good outcome? When it comes down to it, I'm going to tell you this. When a real man who becomes a father fulfills his role as exactly what that title is, as a father, that child will have a high chance of being successful on an, as I in my shows all the time. That child will have a high success chance of being stable spiritually, physically, emotionally, mentally. Why? Because that's a quality that a father can bring. That's the quality that a father can bring. It's not all about being authoritative and being disciplinary or anything like that, which, by the way, I'm very strong on that. I'm very strong on being, I am a very hard disciplinarian. Now, what people like to do, and I'm taking my time with this because a lot of ladies, I know y'all had these questions flowing through your head. Y'all think it's all about beating my chest, me being mean. I'm macho man. You shut up. Do what I say, child. Shut up. Sit. No, it has nothing to do with that. I know not all men do this, but I have another YouTube channel called Man, Husband, Father. And it's the reason why. Because the people that I mentor, the people that I email, the people that I have video calls with, I mentor these young men into becoming men first, knowing who they are within themselves, knowing what their purpose is, fulfilling their purpose, knowing how to walk and operate in what they were designed to be, because they were manufactured by God. We all were. But the thing is, if God is, or I just say God-manufacturer, if you were God-manufactured by God who designed you, then he designed you to operate a specific kind of way. But what is happening right now, the enemy wants to come in and do the opposite. It wants you to do the opposite of how you were designed to operate. It wants you to do the opposite of what your purpose is. And if it gets you out of that, just like all other things that we all see that's man-made electronically, you can start to malfunction. And that's what we see going on today. But I'm going to hit on it a little bit more after this break. You're listening to Cities 92.9 and News and Talking Bloomington Normal. Be right back. Appreciate you guys all being in here. Don't forget to hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to double check to make sure that you still are subscribed to the channel, because you guys know people are being unsubbed from the channel. Appreciate that. Are you saying children don't need mothers? Nope. But I'm glad you asked that, Wayne, eternally. I'll answer that question whenever we come back from the break. Because I want everybody that's out there hearing it to hear my response to this. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing it.
I apologize you didn't get that.
Mama Carol, look at you protecting me. That's why we call you Mama.
Like 30 seconds.
Vincent, I agree. I'm going to hit on that too. If I'm able to pull that clip up, I'm going to hit on that too. Larry Elder, when that lady was asking him what color are the people that have this system of the Jim Crow stuff in place.
Is that one of the ones you sent
No,
me?
but we'll be able to find it on my YouTube channel though if we need to. Because he was going to dodge it. I called him out on it too, though. I'm not in a bad way, but I was just like, hey, Larry Elder, you were tiptoeing around that one. And I even gave my opinion on how he should have answered. But
I don't know that very well. I'll see if I can find it.
Bloomington Normal, we are back. I am Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man, and you're watching my show, Cancel This, or you're listening to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here, area code 309-451-9299. And you can text the show at 309-451-9299. If you would like to see me in the studio live, being very animated, then go onto YouTube and type in Modern Renaissance Man. When you do that, you will see a thumbnail that says Breaking. Larry Elder's powerful interview on The Breakfast Club destroys the agenda. Okay, click on that. You will see me. I'm looking at you. You're looking at me, and we're having a good looking time. All right. So, folks, before we took the break, you guys heard me kind of going in about this whole ordeal with how children do in life with both parents, or with the father, or with the mother. And there was a comment that came in, and it was asked. It said, "Are you saying children don't need mothers?" And that's a good question. Appreciate you for the question. No, I did not say children don't need mothers. I said statistically, when children have the father in the home and the mother, statistically, overall, the children do better. Then I said if the children only has the father in the home being raised, then the children statistically do better. When the children only have the mother in the home being raised by the mother only, statistically, the children do worse. Now, that's not an inclination saying that mothers are not needed. That's not what I said, okay? So I just want to make that clear to all you ladies out there, because my mom was a single mom. And every last one of you guys that met me, not all of you, but 80% of everybody that's ever met me across the United States that I've spoken at speaking engagements, et cetera, you guys, you've all said to me, 80% of you said, I know that your parents are proud. I bet you your dad is just, and yeah, I just nod my head, but y'all don't know. My mom literally did it all. She did the best she could. Okay. I'm just telling y'all that. So no, I know y'all see that I turned out the way that I am right now. You want to say, oh, your father. No. Now, what I would say, I had a bunch of male father figures in my life that came across, because it got very difficult for my mom to where she couldn't do it on her own. So thank God, and shout out to a lot of men that had an impact in my life. Brother Creed, Brother Wilson, Brother Troy, Brother Dennis, Brother Isaiah, Keith Anderson of Homework Hangout, Earl Taylor, who was my karate instructor, taekwondo instructor. He gonna get me for that. My taekwondo instructor, my coach Bill Harback was in my life. Zach Soa of Decatur, Illinois, physician assistant. Dr. Wendell Beckton, the ultimate sports medicine doctor in the freaking nation. Okay? I already said my coach Harback, right? Pastor Wilson of Christ Tabernacle Church. See, all these men that I just named off had an impact in my life. And I don't care who you are, what you say. Listen to me when I tell y'all this, because some people, no, Ty, I'm the type of person that you need to, look, listen to me. I'm not saying this to be mean. Men have a complete different authority and vibe to them than you women do. Men can get kids in check easier than what you women can. No, Tom, my mama, she was mean as a rattlesnake. Oh, please. I get it. Look here, my mom is 5'11", y'all. My mom is 5'11", raised in Tennessee, raised on a farm, picking stuff, doing all this stuff with their bare hands. When we became a certain age, keeping it a buck, my mom couldn't do nothing with us. My mom could not do any, we were not scared of our mom at all. We weren't. I'm just letting y'all, let's be real. We weren't. Okay? But these different men that I named off in my life, different ball game. Okay? Keith Anderson of Homework Hangout, he whooped us. He might be listening right now, and I have a little documentary going right now because people, we got a documentary going of the places I lived. I'm going to show you guys my homes. I'm going to show you Homework Hangout. Shout out to Homework Hangout after school program in Decatur. Keith Anderson, him and Miss Rosie did an awesome job with us. But Keith did not play around. We were given over to Keith at Homework Hangout, and I'm telling you, we got it from Keith. Keith whooped us, y'all. And you can sit there and say all day long, man, you don't have to put your hands on me. I'm telling you, yes, you did. There is not one kid from Homework Hangout that Keith had to spank and snatch up that does not love him. Not one. We understood as we grew what he was doing, showing love. Man, Ty, but where are you going with all this? Men have a different type of authority over children. If you don't believe me, you can do the exercise yourself. A woman, female, can try to get kids in check. A man comes in there, the kids automatically do something with their senses. They size him up. Okay, this is a big man in there. Oh man, his voice even is deeper. He looks more intimidating. And one of the things that we men don't do either, we don't play around as far as trying to give all these chances. You do what we say. If you don't, we taking care of business. We don't sit there. No. Now listen, what did I tell you? Well, wait a minute. Now, hey, now what did I tell? What did we talk? 1, 2, 3. Do you want a timeout? Do you want to do? No, we don't do all that. Sit down, shut your mouth. That's it. You say something else, snatching you, get out. And so what am I saying all this for? Because before I took that first break, I told you guys, I made a comment. I said, I like to mentor them into becoming a man first. Because I was telling you guys about God making us, and he formulated us, and we all have different roles. We all have different purposes. And when I called you, I said he God you factured. I know we say manufactured, but I said God you factured. When he manufactured you, God you factored you, he did it with a purpose. You were meant to manufacture, or God you factor, in a particular purpose, in a particular manner. Most of you people out there that are listening to me right now, if you have your license and you have your own vehicle, you drive something called a car, okay? When you put the car in drive, does it go forward or does it go backwards? It goes forward. When you put the car in reverse, does it go forward or does it go backwards? It goes backwards. When you put the car in park, does it stay still or does it go forward or does it go backwards? When you put the car in neutral, which direction does it go? It goes any direction that you want it to go. Why does a car do that? And how did you guys all learn to drive a car? What would you say? Somebody taught us. But what we need to ask also is, who is the one that made the car? Who manufactured the car? And whoever manufactured the car built the car to operate according to how they purposed it. And what do? We all jump on board with that, don't we? We'll get inside of a car and say, okay, I got to put it in drive to go forward. Okay, this turns the windshield wipers on. Oh, this makes it go in reverse. Oh, when I press the accelerator, the car speeds up. You were taught those things because they're saying this is how this car was manufactured to function. If you do anything and try to alter it in any way, it can cause damage to this vehicle. You guys, you can take what I just got done saying. You can take what I just got done saying and apply it to anything that you can see in front of your face right now. Right now, I want you guys to all think about what you're looking at right now. Some of you guys are looking at me through the TV. Some of you guys are looking at me through a computer. Some of you guys are listening to me through the radio. But no matter what it is, however you're able to hear my voice, take a look at it. And whatever it is that you're looking at is tangible, which means you can touch it. So, what would happen right now if you try to alter what's in front of you right now and it malfunction? It won't work properly, right? Because it was not manufactured to do what you might be trying to do to it. Okay? Y'all follow me? All the things that we have, whether it's a camera, whether it's the microphone you hear me on, whether it's your telephone, you use those products according to how they were manufactured to be used. And if you don't, guess what they would tell you? They would say, if you try to alter this, if you try to do something crazy to it, your warranty is void. Why? Because it was not meant to do what you're trying to get it to do. It's out of order now. The warranty is dead on it. It's going to malfunction. What are you saying all that for, Ty? That's exactly the game plan that's going on in our current nation today. They want you to malfunction. Who are they? Whoever's pushing this rhetoric out, who's ever pushing this agenda out, whoever's pushing out this ideology, they want you to malfunction. They want the warranty on you to be void. They want you to not function according to how you were purposed to function. They want you to be taken out of the role in which you were made to be. Men and women are different. They literally are telling you guys to your faces that men and women are equal. Y'all about to get pissed off at me. For the ones who want to march and say all this stuff about women's rights and equality and all that, who are y'all asking for? Like I'm asking, who are you guys asking? Who are you guys protesting to? Who are you guys, who are you guys saying that to? Men? Oh my God, no way. You guys are asking men that y'all want equal. Y'all, I'm just keeping it real with y'all. Don't believe me. Men run the stuff, ladies and gentlemen. They do. We don't get this. We don't get this. We should have a right. We should have a right. You guys are asking men. They got it to the point where you guys can look at both men and women, and they are trying to convince you that there is no biological difference between us at all. And some of you nutcases believe it. We're ready to take a break again, folks. More to show when we come back. You're listening to Season 92.9 and News to Talk of Bloomington Normal. All right, folks, appreciate you guys all being in here again. If there's any questions that were thrown out there, I'm trying to catch it in here, and I might be able to bring it up. I'll try to bring it up and, talk about it. So perhaps statistics are better for a man to raise a boy. No. Statistics show that a man raising children, period, by himself, the children have a better outcome than what it would be if it's just the mother. It doesn't say a boy or a girl. It's both children. You said, but I don't believe that would be the same for raising a man. So it's not a matter of whether you believe it or not. It's just a matter of what actually is. Like right now, there's men that believe that they're women, but what actually is the truth? They're not. There's women that believe that they are men, but are they? No. So just because one believes does not make your belief true. Statistics show otherwise. The evidence show otherwise. The physical outcome shows otherwise, if you get me. Without strong men, society doesn't exist. Facts. Women cannot run civilized society, not raise the children properly without a good man present by and large. I agree. I can see that. A man with too much manliness is not good. A woman with too much feminine qualities is not good. What? Girl? A man better have all manliness, and I hope a woman has all womanliness. She better have all feminine qualities. I want, yeah, no way. Why not? See, no, ain't no, oh, no, I want the man to be very masculine. I want the woman to be very feminine.
Ty, is it okay for women or for men to cry?
No.
Ever? There's not a single time.
If they do, not in open like how they would want you to. Like,
What about at like a funeral or something?
oh yeah. But at the same time, it depends on the person that passed away. Like I just got done going to one of my friend's funeral of mine. I didn't cry there. I got up and spoke, gave some good inspirational words, whatever like that. But I have cried like off to the side to myself in the room or something like that. It all depends on the situation, who's around. If you're looked at as being like the strong one in the family and you hold it together, it actually kind of helps everybody else kind of keep themselves poised. But yeah, like
because the way I see it, and from my stupid young person brain, is that like you should be able to model for your kids an appropriate time to cry.
100.
And because otherwise you could have a weak man will teach his kid to cry literally at anything, like crying over spilled milk. But too strong of a man will create emotional detachment for the children. And so if you can show them, hey, like when your parent dies or your sibling or something like that, like that's an okay time to cry. Or like if you get shot, okay, I won't blame you for crying. Those are the okay times. Dead parent or you're shot. That's it.
What's going on, Bloomington? I'm Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man. You listen to my show. Cancel this. Phone number here is 309-451-9299. You can text the show at that same number. If you like, you can see me on YouTube by going on to YouTube, typing in Modern Renaissance Man, and you will see a thumbnail that says breaking Larry Elder's powerful interview on the Breakfast Club destroys the agenda. And I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin made a comment and it just kind of broke me a little bit. He made a comment and he asked, is it okay for men to cry? And he just kind of left it at that. And initially I just said, no. And then he kind of opened it up and said, well, when would be a good time for men to cry? And we kind of discussed that right there as far as, because what happened here is during the break, someone made a comment and they said, too much manliness is not good, and too much of a woman being too feminine is not good. And I completely disagree with that. I said with me, as far as men being men, there's no such thing as being too manly. You know, you can't say what's too manly. I mean, how do you measure that? How do you measure what's too manly? But I know what you can do. Men can tell that if you're being not as mannish, if you're not being as far as masculine goes, if you're not being as masculine, men tend to kind of, let's be real. We got to bring this stuff back. I never lost it, but we have to bring this stuff back. If men looked at another man as being like this, whining and crying and just complaining and just everything, and I can't, we actually frown on that. And I'm going to tell you one of the worst things some of y'all can do, I'm telling you right now, is try to make men super soft. So when Kevin made the comment about, is it okay for men to cry? He kind of broke me because he said, you know, if it's like a sibling that passed away or like a mother that passed away, father passed away, is it okay to cry openly like that? And I just pretty much said, yeah. He said, or like if you get shot, I think that'd be a good time. So that's why I started laughing.
I would not blame somebody for crying if they got shot. That's look.
That's what he said. He said,
I guess we could add stabbed to there too. Would that be okay? Like I'm just saying, like, there's gonna be times where like I will not blame you. Like if you're in profound pain. I get it.
You get shot, you better stay strong. You better not cry. Man, I don't know. I might holler and scream and everything now. So I don't know what happened there. But yeah, so what it is that someone made a comment and said that too much manliness is not good, and a woman being too feminine is not good. And that right there is where I feel that things can go completely wrong. So she had a comeback here and she said, 2 masculine men become abusive. She said 3/4 of women are physically abused by a man at least once in their life. Let's talk those statistics. Well, we could talk those statistics because I can fire back and show you that
I'd say that's not masculinity. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I would say is that's not masculinity.
Nope, because you want to know why? If you talking statistics on here, Miss Ween Eternally, again, let me read her comment and shout out to her. She said 2 masculine men become abusive. She said 2 being too masculine. She said 3/4 of women are physically abused by a man at least once in their lives. Let's talk those statistics. Now, what you don't want to talk about is how women actually do the same exact thing, except what? Men don't report it. Uh-oh. Yeah. You didn't know that, did you? Did you know that women do it a whole lot more than men? The only difference is we're not fazed by it. Y'all smack us, push us, put your hands on us. We just, because it's nothing to us. But if we push you and y'all go flying through a wall or something, but look, listen to me. I'm not advocating nor am I condoning any type of violence either way. What I am saying, statistics will show you men don't report when women abuse them. Men don't report it. They just don't, because it's nothing to us. So that has nothing to do with masculinity. If you want to be real about that, the fact that that man couldn't control his emotions and had to revert to violence, that shows me that he actually is demonstrating feminine energy. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You hear that? Can we say it again? If a man gets so mad and gets in his emotion, which I said women are more emotional, and he reverts to violence, he demonstrated more feminine energy than he did masculine energy. See, a lot of men, if you've been around men, my wife would tell you guys right now. If my wife was here, she would tell you, when me and my sons are just having some conversations, my wife would sometimes go, "What's going on?" And we all look at her and go like, "What? It sounds like y'all down there." I'm like, "No, this is how dudes talk." "Well, man, I just thought that y'all were like arguing." I'm like, "No." So that's what I'm saying. That's what we do. If Kev and I were to sit here and talk about who is the best anything, and Kev goes, "I think it's this," and I go, "No, it's this." He'd be like, "Dude, no, I'm telling you." And I'm like, "Bro, no, it's this." People look at that and think me and Kev are arguing. That it's about to escalate into a fight because of the fact that he's saying how we're talking to each other. Y'all look at how men talk to each other. Y'all seem aggressive. Y'all just seem so rare. And we will be like, "No, we were just talking about who's the best basketball team or who's the best swimmer." That's all we were doing.
It's Leah Thomas, I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Leah Thomas, the only female that's a ding-a-ling king. Anyway, but
you got Andrea on the line too, in case you were wondering.
Oh, that's right. I forgot all about that. So, folks, we do have a caller online. We're getting ready to take that call right now, see what she has to say. It's Andrea. Hey, sis, how you doing?
Hey, Ty. You're speaking my language today. So I'm just going to go right on ahead and say to the women in the chat about women being abused by men. What you never hear about is how many men get their lives taken because women start trash with other men.
Uh-oh.
How many men have died in combat because they have a female next to them? How many men in the police force have lost their lives because they're working with a woman cop? It's not a question of equality. What women want equality for is white-collar jobs. They don't want to drive the sewer trucks. They don't want to be out there laying bricks in 100-degree weather. They don't want to be behind garbage trucks. These women want to sit behind desks and push papers and make big cash, unless you're somebody like a famous female rapper who basically admitted to being a dancer and drugging and robbing men. That's the other thing. Women in this society have become the most toxic things around. The society is in the shape that it's in right now because women have basically abused, belittled, and dehumanized men.
Woo!
That is why that you are looking at a society that is female-centric. And you know what? How's it working out for you? It's violent. There's wars about to pop off. The economy is about to crash. This is what happens when you bastardize men for decades and dehumanize them, all in the name of feminism. Well, if feminists are so great, why aren't they stepping up now that there's all these trans men taking women's spots? You know why? Because it was a grift. It was a lie. Women have been the downfall of Western society, and they have become toxic. They're toxic. And that's why you see the actions that you do from teens raised, and here comes the heat, by single mothers. Listen, Ty, my dad left when I was very young, right? My mother was 4'11". She's a spicy little Italian. I could test my mother. I would mouth off to my mother in the grocery store. She would haul me right into the body care aisle and slap a bar of soap right in my mouth in the grocery store and not care about it. But you know what? I had 2 older brothers. And when I stepped out of line, it wasn't my mother who checked me. Not at all. It was my brothers. And my brothers were having none of it. And the reason why I grew up to be so successful as I am today is my brothers taught me that it's okay to be a woman around a man. My brothers taught me a lot about business. My brothers taught me a lot about life. My brothers told me when to lay her cards down and when to keep them close. But my mother taught me a whole different set of skills, which is, the feminine skills, the cooking and the cleaning, and why it's important to be supportive of your partner. I really got the best of both worlds, and my grandparents live with us. So I had my noiny and my nono upstairs. They lived upstairs, and that was a completely different set of life skills because they were immigrants who came here.
Wow.
Right? But what you're seeing in this culture right now is a direct result of it being led by women. Look at how many times you see women throwing hands at men, like on YouTube. And the thing of it is, and here's the thing of it, they do that because they count on there's not going to be any backlash. Right? That's why they do it. They do it because they know that they can get away with it, which is unacceptable. I watched your reaction to Oliver Anthony's video. And I have to tell you, Ty, I watched a lot of reactions to that video because that song really rocked me to my core. But I will tell you, watching men when he gets to that part about young men are putting themselves down in the ground because all this country does is keep on kicking them down, to see the look on men's face and to see the pain, like, it just tells me everything I know. Women, it's now the time to stand up and back strong men, because you are being led by an absolute clan of weak men and hyper narcissistic women. It's time to bring strong men back into society.
Holy smokes, man, Andrea, you brought the heat. As you can see, the internet is flaming on what you said and a lot of support. I really appreciate you calling up, Andrea. I wish you would have got a hold of us right when we got back in here, because we are coming up on a break right here. But Andrea, you know it, and I'm so glad you've been consistent on when I told you we want to hear from you when you call up here, because people get to recognizing voices, they get to recognizing names, and they look forward to hearing from certain people, folks. That was awesome what she just said, and I'm definitely going to piggyback on a lot of things she said after this break right here, folks. You listen to Cities 92.9, the News Talk of Bloomington Normal. We'll be right back. Woo, Andrea, girl, you brought the heat. You brought the heat on that. And that was a woman, ladies and gentlemen. That was a woman. That was a woman that made that comment. A woman that made the comment. Okay? Don't forget, double check to make sure that y'all are subscribed. Okay? Make sure you hit that thumbs up button so the video can be circulated within the YouTube algorithm. Okay?
So we have the person who has been fighting Andrea in the chat now on hold. So we're gonna have this person. And I'm really excited for this.
I might join in on this conversation. I'm liking the heat that we're bringing today, everybody.
Yeah, I want to hear all points.
Sorry, I look like trash today.
Wow, came here for a moment. Andrea was talking to you. Yeah, Joe, she was bringing it, wasn't she? She was bringing it. But hey, don't forget, y'all. Don't forget, hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to check out Kev. Y'all see him right here. Check out Kev. Check him out on Speechless on his YouTube channel.
Heck yeah, everybody.
What's going on, Frank Sack? Y'all been missing some good stuff going on right here, folks. And we do have somebody else that's going to call in, and we're going to see what that's going to be about. But to the ones that sent the man, look, if y'all email me, I think I have it up here. I was going to say, if y'all email me one more time asking about the Cash App, I don't even have it up here.
It's going across at the bottom of the screen.
There it is right there. See it? It's right there. For the ones that are emailing me, there it is right there. Cash App, see that? It's Modern Renaissance Man.
All right, we're coming back. This is going to be good with this caller. I'm excited.
Updates about my show. I'm on at 5 weeknights on Cities 92.9.
And we are back, Bloomington Normal. I am Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man, and you listen to my show. Cancel this. The phone number here, 309-451-9299. Again, it's 309-451-9299. Check me out on YouTube by going onto YouTube into your internet and type in Modern Renaissance Man on YouTube. When you see a thumbnail that says Larry Elder, powerful interview on The Breakfast Club destroys the agenda, click on that. You will see me looking at you, you looking at me, and we're having a good looking time. All right? So before we took the break, you guys all heard the caller that called in, gave some very good, strong points on her view and her opinion on what is absolutely destroying the fabrics of America and the family. And she gave some really strong points. And before I can actually piggyback off of what she said, we had someone else that wanted to call in and give their view on it that we have no idea what it's going to be about. But nevertheless, just like with all things, we are about freedom of speech here. If you want to call in, again, 309-451-9299 is the number up here at Cities 92.9, the News and Talk of Bloomington Normal.
But keep it clean.
Yes, and I want to let you guys all know that before we bring you on air or you come onto the panel, you have to absolutely not cuss. If you cuss, you have to promise that you're going to send me $100 through Cash App.
100,000, because we get big fines. If you cuss,
we get $100,000 fine here. But since I'm talking about for my sake, you got to give me 100. But with that being said, we did have somebody else that called in. They want to give their opinion on this. Caller, you on Cities 92.9. Who am I speaking with?
Hello. Thank you for taking my call. My name's Rachel.
Hello, Rachel.
Hey, I like your show most of the time.
I get that all the time. It's cool. Nobody's going to like it all the time. That's fair.
But, that's the same for all of us. But I do appreciate what you do. There's a lot to agree with both of you on. So when I'm in there typing in the comments in the chat or anyone else, we can't just hold a normal conversation. So you're only seeing part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to point out that my grandmother, who was, born in the early 1900s, 1923 to be exact, and other women like her did not grow up in a feminized society, but still dealt with physical abuse from men. So this rationalization that the society has changed and now we have all these problems, that is absolutely not the case. History does not show that. What I would like to propose is that we get off of the kick of blaming each other, blaming other sexes, blaming groups, labels of people, blah, 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 blah. That the blame game is what has to stop. And what we need to do is we need to focus on what God told us to do. God's main viewpoint throughout the whole entire Bible is to be holy and pure, righteous and loving. And Jesus finished that off by what he did when he came here. That's what we need to do. And if you really look at the true the true valuable psychology that is actually out there today helping people. And it is pervasive in the Christian counseling and in the regular secular counseling now, which is to go into oneself and dig into the deeper inner parts of oneself to see what it is that I have that needs to be fixed, and what do I have to bring to the table in a relationship. Now, right now in society, it's so flipped that we don't even think relationships are necessary, and that's horrible. But the truth of the matter is that God was taken out of the equation. And when God's taken out of the equation and we don't have a higher being to go to get this counsel from, we then start to look outwards. And when we look outwards, sure, we're going to find anybody and everybody to blame. This is not a blame game. This not even really a game. What it is, it's life. And we need each other, and we need to start understanding that we need each other. That's what I was trying to say in the comment section. I apologize if it didn't come out correctly, but we need a balance. And there are a lot of religions on other sides of the world, besides the Western part of the world that we think is the only thing that makes up the world if we're in the Western world. But there's other people that understand this balance, and we need to come to an understanding of the full picture of what we're here for. And when someone in a relationship is able to say, okay, I'm going to give my 100% today to this other person, and then that person do it back, both needs are met. That's how it should work.
I get what you're saying. So here's the thing though. If you say we can't do the blaming thing, why was it very important in the church afterwards where they would have us call certain things out that was going on within the church? If somebody was an adulteress, if somebody was doing this, they told us to go to that person off to the side and try to correct it. If they don't correct it, then that person can't be among us. So
yes.
What I'm saying that for is this. Would you say this? Okay, and I want you to think about it this way. Me being in medicine, if you came to me and you told me, I've been having headaches, I've been having pain here, I've been having this strange cramp going on, my eyes been twitching. Now, would you call that blame game, or would you call that you telling me that because you want me to fix the symptoms that's going on with you?
Well, it depends on how I would ask the question and what my intentions were.
Now. If you got something going on with your body, your intentions is you're telling me that because you want me to fix the issue that's bothering you.
Well, yeah, and if you want to go into a deeper aspect of that, I'm actually looking into that right now. And again, it goes back to that person, because we're made of frequency, and everything is frequency in this world. And so it actually goes back to the person again, to go to that inner person. Jesus said the kingdom of God is within. So actually your correct answer to that person is, well, let's find out what you're doing and not doing in your life to cause these problems. But what Western medicine does is go, oh, let me pull up my book here and flip to page 967 to tell you what kind of medicine I can give you to fix your problem. That's not the answer. So the answer actually goes back to that person. So that's again is, what can I do to fix myself? What can that person do to fix themselves? Now, when it comes to a family unit, if you look at what the Lord did, we follow his natural laws. The way he set things in the universe is the way it should go.
Which is what?
There should be a man and there should be a woman. And those two come together and they make a family. And so it's the both of them. It's the feminine and the masculine. It's the wait until your dad gets home and he's going to take care of you. Yes, we need the man with his strong hand. We need that strong hand there. We also need him to be strong in the world. We need him to go get have the career and bring the cows home or whatever it is he needs to do. But you need that woman too, because that person growing up needs a good balance in their perspective on life.
I want to ask you something. When you just said, wait till your dad gets home, right?
Yes.
So why do you need to tell that person, wait till your dad get home?
Because that's the way God created us.
Right. So
And
what
I'm
right, so
agreeing
wait.
with
Oh no, I
some
just
of
want to
what
ask you
you
something.
said,
My
but
point is saying that is that
you're not the only.
whenever you
I'm
said,
sorry.
whenever you asked the question, whenever you said to the child, wait till your dad get home, are you saying that because that child did something that's out of order, been disobedient? And if that
Yeah,
child
absolutely.
if that child did indeed do something out of order, disobedient, are you blaming the child? Is that the blame game, or are you calling out the disobedience, the sin, the unlawfulness that child is doing? And you want that man there, so
It's
you want the
not
man there so he
necessarily
can
about
fix it.
blame at that point. Where
Right. So
that's what
what
I'm saying that we need to get away from.
No.
Yeah.
What I'm telling you is perspective. What we're doing, we're calling out the unlawfulness. We're calling out the sin. We're calling out the bad. We're calling out what they're doing, so we can
Yes.
actually have people come in and fix it.
Yeah, so there's always there's truth. There is truth in life. There's truth, there's lies, there's different things. What I'm just saying to you, Ty, is I appreciate what you do, but you're like the, I think, second or third person I've seen, male, young, around a certain age, male, having a YouTube channel where I flip on it and I normally like what I hear, and then all of a sudden I start hearing, guys, you need to stay away from these women, and they're giving all of these, horrible aspects of certain types of women and stuff. And it seems like it's too much on one side or the other.
I get what you're saying. We have to put you on hold real quick because we're coming up on a break. Right now we literally got 10 seconds left. So I just want to let you know that. Folks, again, you heard the caller that just called in. Shout out to them for calling in and giving their perspective on this. We got to get ready to take a break. You're listening to Cities 92.9, the news and talk at Bloomington Normal. We'll be right back. That first hour is already over?
Yeah, your first hour is over.
Night. Yeah, she's still here?
Oh no, I hung up.
Oh, okay. First, guys, let me just say this. Shout out to the caller. I do like people to call in like this. Now, here's the deal. I hate this because I don't want to give y'all, I don't want to say nothing right now because the people that were listening on air, they want to hear it too. Some of the people, a lot of folks in Bloomington know who I am, and they are blowing my phone up with texts that's coming in. And look, I'm going to wait until we come back after the break and get back into it, because I mean, I get where her mind is right now. But again, as you guys can see, I'm not trying to be, hold on, let me stop. Make sure y'all hit the thumbs up button right now.
Writing down all your thoughts.
Yes.
I don't know. I know what she's saying though about like dudes who like got YouTube channels and go on and say you need to stay away from these. There are certain women you just stay away from, like 100%. I will tell any of you dudes, if she, here's the thing, is that there's a big thing nowadays with young women where promiscuity is not only encouraged. Well, it's not only just like, hey, go have sex. It's encouraged among young women. It's talked about. I mean, like there's that Cardi B song, Wet Ass P Word. You know that one, right, Ty?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that entire song is, she says in it, I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me tell you how I got this ring, and continues to discuss her genitalia. And so the way I see it is you bring nothing to the table. Like, I want a wife who, you don't necessarily, we could split the cooking and cleaning or something. Like maybe I cook a little bit, or if you're cooking dinner one night, maybe I do a little bit of the cleaning. But I don't want somebody who's literally just there to be like a sex doll for me.
Right.
So if that's the kind of woman that you are, I'm staying away from you. And I encourage all other young men to stay away from women like that, because you're going to realize life is really boring and there's going to be a lot of pressure on you to not only provide, but cook, clean, and literally do everything for her, because all she wants to do is lay around and get screwed. So
it's like it becomes like, so that's all you're worth. If that's the case, then why do I need to have you in the house? Why do I need a woman? I can just find any woman to pay. I'm gonna drop. Look, I'm
going to tell you, the $1,000 payment for a really nice sex doll is going to cost a lot less than supporting your ass for the rest of your life. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. Or there's just the people that say, why would I do that? I can just, being single, these men are like, I can just go fly to Vegas, go to the bunny ranch and whatever. I don't even got to, she don't even have to stay with me or nothing like that. Why would I just want to have somebody in here who's just going to stay with me? And that doesn't make sense.
No, exactly. And so yeah, there are women that you should, and like, I hear women brag about how they've slept with all these men in college and stuff. And I'm just like, I wouldn't brag about that. Like, that's not right. Cool. Like,
I'm a lady. I have a high body count. That's not nothing to brag on. I mean, no.
especially as a woman too, because like the marketplace for sex right now is heavily like women owned. Like women own the marketplace for sex.
Yes.
I mean, there's a reason why OnlyFans is primarily women and why
Yes.
there's a lot of men who subscribe to people's OnlyFans is because men are the consumers while women are the ones giving or selling, obviously, the goods. And so when you have that, being a woman with a high body count is like celebrating that you gained a pound after eating McDonald's. Like, of course, it's going to happen. Like, literally, I know some women that are like some of the most unattractive people in the world, but I know men that would sleep with them simply because they're desperate, lonely, and stupid. So,
yeah, that's true. That is absolutely 100% true.
as the ugliest man I know, I know would have a much harder time finding a lady of the night than than some of the ugliest women I know. So I'm just saying it like it is, everybody.
Oh, wow. Who in here hasn't hit that like button yet?
I like Jules. Whores, the oldest profession. I just like how whores is in all caps. I love it. Whores.
Oldest profession.
Oldest profession.
Unifier says, do we keep calling back or what? Oh, yeah, Unifier. Yeah, you can call.
Yeah, people. I've been watching to see if our phone lines are lighting up or anything. I can really only take. I mean, if we could do 2 callers at one time, but I can't answer the phone if we have one.
Right.
Like, I can't answer the handheld if we got somebody on the line. So,
What's going on, Raven? Miss Beth Mitchell, Mama Don Scarlett. And where does that get women in the end? Oh, I see what Andrea's saying.
yeah, I think my point.
To the lady who just called,
Rachel.
I don't know who you are in the
chat.
Yeah, in the chat, but I'm assuming you were the one that said you were the one making the comments about being too manly and women being too feminine. It sounds like it. I might be wrong though. I might be wrong. I'm just making it. I think, Rachel, are you winged internally?
Coach Lamont, salute.
You said, I guarantee you that's not true. I was abused twice in my life and I never abused them. Never cheated, lied, nothing. So this might sound wrong.
You're coming back
Might
in like
sound mean,
30 seconds.
but you chose them. I'm just keeping it real. You chose them. Did you not vet them enough to know that these people were violent?
I mean, I'll even push back on that. There's wolves in sheep's clothing.
Big time. Here we go. What is going on, Bloomington Normal? I am Ty Smith, modern Renaissance man, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This, here at Cities 92.9 and News Talk of Bloomington Normal. You can call up here at 309-451-9299. Again, that number is 309-451-9299. Or you can check me out on YouTube. Go onto YouTube, type in Modern Renaissance Man, and type in that name, and when you see a thumbnail that says Breaking Larry Elder's Powerful Interview on the Breakfast Club Destroys the Agenda, you will see me looking at you, you looking at me, we will be having a good looking time. And as you guys can see, it has been a good show thus far with a lot of calls coming in, flaming. If we can't get to your call, we apologize. We are trying to do our best up here, okay? With that being said, the lady that just called in, you guys all heard the points that she was making. Now, what I do want to know is this, and this is what I want to say. I get what she is saying. Now, she brought a lot of God into it, right? She brought a lot of things in there. Now, what gets me is that she said she think that we need to get away from playing the blame game. But here's the issue. I gave her a scenario. I said, if you come in and you tell me about all the things that was going on with your body, are you calling those symptoms blame? Are you blaming the symptoms? Or are you coming to me saying you want to fix them? So what I'm saying that for us, folks, is that I did a TED Talk back in 2021-ish. And my topic that I did, it was called Perception Can Become Greater Than Reality. So here's my thing to that lady that called in, and shout out to her, Miss Rachel. It's not about nobody's blaming. It's all about you catching the behavior, the attitude that is being destructive, not only into a household, but it can be destructive to a society. And you have to call those things out for you to go out there and fix it. If all we do is say we all should just not blame anybody, then it's going to be worse. It's going to enable them. I'll give you an idea. Here in Illinois, man, these people are doing crazy things, especially in Chi-Town. My family them send me emails, oh, we had this happen on the south side. We had this happen on the east side. This just happened on the southwest side. These kids are going in and bashing stores, folks. They're just going right in there and taking things. And the people that work there are told, don't engage, don't stop them, da-da-da-da-da. Don't do anything. So what I'm saying therefore is that when we see that, I'm just keeping it real, it's happening in this region. If the ones who are doing it are young black men, it is completely ludicrous to say we shouldn't play the blame game. No, this is not about blaming. See, the switching of words, it's not about blaming. We are saying these things are not supposed to be happening. So instead of trying to say, guys, you know, we shouldn't be doing the blame game, they're breaking the law and you're saying don't play the blame game. There always is going to be somebody who's going to be at fault for unrighteousness being done. And whoever that person or individual or entity that's at fault for the unrighteousness being done, we have to call them out and we have to take care of the situation. We just have to. We can't sit back and say, don't blame this person, don't blame that person. Now, also, Miss Rachel, to your response, you said, you talked a lot about God. You said how Jesus set things up. Now, I would say this. Jesus, you do know that, you guys do know this. Y'all can go check me out on this. Don't believe me. You do know that after Jesus rose from the dead, he was with the disciples another 40 days, right? A lot of people don't know that. Go read it. Jesus was with the disciples another 40 days, telling them the things that he wants them to go out and do. Now, what we need to do, and after the book, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, after John, the book of John, the next thing is called Acts, right? And that pretty much means action. So if Jesus was with those apostles 40 days and 40 nights, telling them what he wanted them to do, then we need to go see what it is that they went out and did. What did they go out and teach? And what you will find is there was a whole lot of blaming going on. It was a whole lot of blaming going on. Paul called stuff out all the time in the Bible. And since we are on that, who said God is the head of Christ? Christ is the head of the man. The man is the head of the woman. Now, I don't know if you were meaning it this way, Miss Rachel. You said when a man and a woman get together, they are to be partners and blah, blah. No, they're not. That's not Bible. The woman was made for the, now look, I'm not talking to y'all out there that don't believe in God, you're not in church. I'm not talking to y'all, okay? I'm talking to the ones who's supposed to be of the faith. The woman was made for the man. The woman was made for the man, and it said, your desire shall be to your husband, and he shall rule over you. So there's not to be no partnership in there. No, and that's why I went back to my original topic, what I was saying in the beginning, God-manufacturer. God manufactured us. He made men to function a certain way. He made women to function in a certain way. Now, I will say this too. You did a little sleight of words there when you said, and I know, and here's the thing, Rachel, sis, those type of things don't work with me. When people say things to me like, I used to watch your channel, but then you start to, it's like you try to use that as some type of way of making me, like, look, it's not gonna make me feel bad. Because when I'm right about something, I stand on it and it doesn't matter what nobody says to me. So when you say things like, I used to watch your channel, but then when I come over there, I see that you're discouraging men from marrying people. Miss Rachel, look, I'm just telling you straight up, when you said that right there, you lied. You won't find one video on my channel. All my videos are on my channel right now. Anybody that's been following my channel for some while, they've been in on my lives, they will see and they will tell you, I encourage relationships. I encourage marriages. I literally counsel people who are married. We do these little Zoom calls. We do these emails and all this. We do these panels where we are literally on there encouraging people in relationships. I'm huge on relationships. That's like my baby. That's my jam. Relationships, seeing a man and a woman work things out, seeing a man and a woman produce a family, and seeing that man operating the purpose where God called him to, and seeing that woman operating the purpose where God designed her to do. I push that. So what I'm saying that for is, for when you said and made the comment and said, you know, now when I get on there, it seemed like you telling men not to marry women. No. I, again, and you guys all heard this in the beginning of the show, I said I push on my other channel. It's called Man, Husband, Father. I push the men to become men first, to know who they are, to know how they're supposed to move, to know how they're supposed to operate according to how God designed them to operate, according to how they're supposed to rule as a man, how God called, how they're supposed to be once they get married. I show them how they're supposed to act as a husband to their wives. And if they do have children, show them how they're supposed to be a father to their children, for the ones who are unlearned in it. But I try to get all those things out when they are just single men at first. If they're anticipating those things, if they're anticipating getting a wife, if they're anticipating having children, I talk to them about becoming those things before they get there. So to say that I'm discouraging them, no, but I'm going to tell you this right now. I definitely would tell them what type of woman to stay away from, period. That's just it. If you have a woman that's already going to come at you, I don't need no man, I make my own money, I got my own job, I got my own house, stay away from her. Stay completely away from her, period. Because then she's going to try to treat you like, well, what can you do? I don't need you. What I need a man for? I can call a man to come and fix my roof. I can call a man to come and fix my toilet. I don't need no man to protect me. I can call the police. Listen to me when I tell you. I tell my young man, you are to not even remotely engage in that. My sons are taught that. I taught them that. I just let them see how the women act. And my sons don't desire that. And thank the Lord, they see what their daddy chose as a wife. My sons want women that's just like their mom.
Gross.
They don't want any woman that's loudmouth.
That's actually a Freud concept. You know Freud?
Sigmund Freud?
Yeah, Sigmund Freud.
Yeah,
that's a Freud
the
thing.
psychologist.
It's the Oedipus complex is what it's
Now-
called. It's that you want to sleep with someone like your parents.
Oh, God. Not that. So what I mean, folks, is that people usually, and it's true, if you look at people that grew up in a structural type family, you will find a lot of times they marry someone with the same type of qualities as their parent. They do. They want a woman that knows how to cook, a woman that's soft-spoken, a woman that's not loud-mouthed and just a woman who's just not having an agenda to just be completely combative all the time, a woman that's literally there to help elevate and push her husband to be great. Well, what about the woman? You missing the point. I'm not talking to all y'all. When I'm talking about it from a biblical perspective, when it said the woman was made for the man, and it said your desire shall be to him. Now, here's the flip side. Don't think that it's all about that, folks. Don't think it's just about, so we just supposed to know, because guess what? The Bible turns around and it tells a man. It says, Christ says, it said, husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church, that he gave himself for it. Now, that's really interesting, that right there. He gave himself for it. Do you understand what happens whenever a man actually takes on a woman? And look, I'm not trying to put a bunch of on men, but understand this. There's a lot of things that men do. They give up a lot when they're getting ready to take this woman on. She's going to be my only one. No more being single, no more going out with the guys. You giving up a lot of stuff to get ready to be with this wife, to give your all to her. But they don't teach all that. They don't want y'all to see it that way. We just all misogynistic, egotistic, blah, blah, blah. We'll be right back after this break, folks.
You have unified on the line for the next segment. The chat's blowing up. Apparently, you said winged. You said Rachel lied. What did she lie about?
When she said that when I said that Rachel lied, I said Rachel lied whenever Rachel made the comment. She said, now that when she comes onto my channel, it seems like, she said, when I come onto your channel now, you're discouraging men from getting with women. And I never once said that. That's why I said that was a lie. The phone's not?
Well, the phone is. It's just I'm trying to do the second line.
If someone is trying to call in on the second line right now, it's hard for me to answer because we have somebody on our first line that's on hold. So unless it was Unified calling in again. Unified, if that's you calling in again because you messed up first or because you hung up, then write it in the chat so I know. Beth Mitchum called.
My Lord.
We got Unified up next.
Okay.
So, and then Mama Dawn, if we got time for you later.
Miss Scarlett. I'm not on the open YouTube. Wait, what'd you say? You said, please replay that if you get a chance so I can hear myself say what you just said I said.
You're about to come back.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, here at Cities 92.9. I am Ty Smith. You're listening to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here, 309-451-9299. You can text the show at that same number. Come check me out on YouTube if you're at home in front of a computer. Go onto YouTube, type in Modern Renaissance Man, and when you do that, you will see a thumbnail that says breaking. Larry Elder's powerful interview on The Breakfast Club destroys the agenda. All right? With that being said, folks, you guys kind of heard me talking about, I was just rebuttaling what a caller that called in made a comment about, you know, what she felt was going on in the world right now. She didn't want it to be a blame game type thing like that. So you guys all heard me pretty much explaining the roles and everything. I was saying how if you are claiming to be in this, if you are claiming to be a part of this kingdom, Christianity, that God, and I'll say it in the beginning of my show, God manufactured us, or I say he God-you-factured us because he made us, and he made men to function a certain way. He designed us for a certain purpose and do certain things. And women were designed to be a certain way and to function in a certain purpose. And if you operate outside the way that you were manufactured, you can actually end up malfunctioning. And I was saying this is exactly what's going on in the world today, right? So when I was saying all that, I was going in on how God said he made the woman for the man. He made the woman for the man. And in the relationship, there is no, I'm just being real, y'all. In a relationship, there is no equality. And like me and my wife, we're not equal. We're not. I'm over my wife. And it's not like I'm just beating my chest because I'm bigger than my wife and I'm stronger than my wife. It's nothing like that. It's just that Ty Smith understands the assignment from the Father. I understand the assignment. I understand what he designed me to do. I understand what he designed me to be. I understand my purpose and how he wants me to operate as first a man, then how he wanted me to operate as a husband, and then how he wanted me to operate as a father. And it's not to be bragging on me. I'm bragging on God. And that's why as a man, I have a successful marriage. I'm 22 years married. I have two sons. One is 21. The other one is 19. My 21-year-old, he actually is getting ready to get his own place in a few weeks. See what I'm saying? My sons don't have no girls pregnant. They don't do drugs. They don't do what they want to in my house. Any of that, right? So that's what I'm saying. That's why now, I'm not saying it to brag on me. I'm bragging on the one that gave me the assignment and I followed his assignment. That's all I'm saying. So anyway, when we was doing that, folks, we had someone that called in. We're going to see what this caller's talking about. Caller, you're on Cities 92.9. Who am I speaking with?
Yo, this is Ty. This is Unifier TV, man. This is Daryl.
What's going on, Unifier?
What's going on, man? What's going on? Loving the show as always. You doing your thing as always. But yeah, man, I just wanted to call in and just say a couple things.
Go right ahead.
So for me, I'm right there with you as far as, you know, the husband and wife not being equal. It's not supposed to be that way. And, you know, I was referencing an episode. I don't know if you remember this. There was an episode of Good Times where James didn't want Florida to go to school because he didn't have an education and all that. So he was emasculated because she was going to school. But I don't know if you remember, she was like, look, I don't want to walk behind you. I don't want to walk in front of you. Let me walk alongside you. And that's the mentality that a lot of women have today, where either they want to be these alpha females or they want to be right alongside you. Oh, this is a partnership. It's not a partnership, you know, and it's like, I'm the leader of this. And so the problem is that when you speak as a strong male, the immediate response is toxicity. You're toxic. You're toxic because you want the woman to support you while you're leading the family. You're toxic because you're working 12 hours a day and you do desire a hot meal when you get home. So that's toxic today. You know, you're toxic because, you want your woman to stay home and take care of things, and you be the breadwinner. You're toxic because of that. So it's like it to me, it's all demonic. It's a satanic agenda to break down what God put together and what God's image for the family is. The image for the family is for us to take up the cross, take up the role, and say, you know what? I'm leading my family. I'm not going to let my family go hungry by the grace of God. I'm not going to let my family go hungry. I'm not going to have these wayward children. I'm not going to let this stuff happen. And if it requires me to lay hands on my children respectfully and, diplomatically, that's what needs to happen. And so the problem is that men can't physically discipline their kids. What about the video that came out the other day where the little girl was twerking and the dad popped her in the leg? It didn't look like it was a hard enough pop to startle her fall out, but he got her attention. And people had a problem with that video. Like, no, she should not be shaking her little bit behind at all, but especially at that age. And that's the problem. We don't have enough dads popping these kids, whether it's a boy or girl. Pop, hey, no, let me snap you out of that right now. This stops right here. Because it's almost like we're afraid to do it. But that don't mean we should stop doing it. Because I'm not going to stop doing it. So that's just what I wanted to say, man. It's just, to me, I'm just so tired of seeing this. I'm actually getting ready to make a video about this, but I'm so tired of seeing where today's society is women on the front line or finding any kind of way to diminish the man's role in the household. And that's just so ungodly. And then you got people who claim to be about God who are okay with this dynamic. You can't be about God and then on the other side of your face say we're partners and men shouldn't be doing this and they shouldn't be doing this. And like, okay, well, as long as the man is not beating his wife, as long as the man is not abusing his kids, if he is being a strong, stern leader, he's doing what he's supposed to do as long as he's doing it the right way. But just because he raises his voice, just because his chest gets big sometimes, just because he says, hell no, this is not going to go down like this, just because he might say that every now and then with a certain tone that other people might deem uncomfortable, does not mean he's a toxic male.
Facts.
And so I'm so tired of seeing this, man. The devil is very busy, but as long as there are men like you, men like me, who are doing it the way we know God put us on this earth to do, this whole dynamic they're trying to push is not going to work anyway. Because I'm going to continue to lead my family the way I'm supposed to. I'm not trying to hear any of that. But yeah, man, just wanted to connect with you, man, and say that, man. But God bless, man. I'm gonna stick around in the chat and listen to the rest of this epic episode. This is awesome right here. I'm gonna share all kinds of clips today on this. You've been killing it. But yeah, man. I'm gonna stick around. But yeah, thank you for giving me some time, man. We'll stay connected.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, before you go, let everybody know where they can find you.
Oh, so if you search Unifier, is UNIFIER TV. On YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all those. Mainly Instagram. I'm way more active on there. So if you find me on Instagram, Unifier TV, yeah, let me know what y'all think. Subscribe, share, all that good stuff.
All right, Unifier, bro. God bless you. Appreciate you calling in. Thank you for coming in, young man, and dropping those gems like that, man. We really appreciate you, sir. Hey, guys. Shout out to Unifier TV. Again, he can be found on YouTube. Just look him up on social media platforms. He definitely
I'll
says
put it
he's
in our
active
chat.
a lot on Instagram, and Kev's going to put it up there in the chat so you guys can find him. God bless Unifier for calling in. I love to see that. See what he just got done displaying. He is like a Unifier TV who just got done speaking, by the way. He reminds me of a lot of my mentees that I mentor from a young age. And when they grow up, they see and they understand and they get it. They understand and they get it. And when they do, folks, there is no getting past that. Y'all have to understand something. See, here's the thing. They can't even look and handle a lot of things that we were designed to do. Ty, what are you talking about? Men, ladies, I'm telling y'all right now. I'm telling y'all, listen to me what I'm telling y'all. Everything I told y'all about that C-19, what was going on in the hospitals for the past 2.5 years, even when they kicked off, when I told y'all that they were lying, and when I told y'all there's nobody out there at Barnes Jewish, there's nobody at St. John's Mercy Medical, when I was telling y'all that and they thought I was lying, when I was telling y'all, I'm looking at these people's charts. Their charts are showing that they got the boosters and they're still getting the C-19. Man, you just lying because the news said, I know, and look. I even said this. I have the video and said the ones who are arguing with me in the chat about me being a liar, about me being a conspiracy theorist, about, oh, you're not married, you don't have children, you're a right-wing propagandist person planted there, Candace Owens' brother. When I said this, I said, when it's all said and done, and they come back and they actually have to agree with what I was telling y'all about what we learned going through the medical portion of school with the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, I guarantee you, the ones who are arguing with me in chat, they will not apologize. They are not going to apologize. And have they done it? No. No. So what I'm saying that for is this. In the hospitals, whenever I have a patient's chart, and I can't say no names, I'm just telling y'all it's a HIPAA violation. I don't know why now, since y'all was asking for people back scars, but I digress from that. A lot of the women, and I'm talking about a huge percentage of the women, when I look in their chart and I go down their medication that they're on, you ladies are on so many antidepressants, it is crazy. And when I do my own little thing and break it down, that's just my own little thing I do. When I look at these women occupations, the women who are on antidepressants the most are single, career-oriented women. Women who are married are rarely on antidepressants. And guess what the ladies try to do? That's because men won't go and get the help. No, it's because we handle the things differently. And there are things that men were made to handle that you ladies weren't meant to. So you saying a woman can't be? No, I'm not saying a woman can't be, but your body's going to show you otherwise. I know what I'm talking. I'm not saying what I'm saying to degrade y'all, to undermine y'all. I'm saying what I'm saying. You have to look at it again. Perception can become greater than reality. I'm saying it the way I'm saying because I'm trying to protect y'all. Why do y'all know why Dylan Mulvaney brought Budweiser down? It wasn't because he was trans. It wasn't because he was drinking beer and people got mad. It's because he was mocking y'all and men stood up for y'all. We'll hit on this a little bit more after this break, ladies and gentlemen. We will be right back here at Cities 92.9. Mama Don, if that's you calling, we'll try to get you on, sis.
Cities 92.9, this is Kevin. How can I help you? Hey, Mama Don, sorry about all the phone stuff. I just obviously am handling like.
Tell her we'll get it wrong when we come back.
So we'll get you on. Okay, I'm gonna put you on hold, and this time I hope it won't hang.
Scarlett. Man, this show is flying today.
Yeah, it's going quick. Yo,
Mama Don.
Mama Don, we still got you on hold. Like you're right there. Like I can see the light. I didn't hang up or anything. It's all there.
Don't forget to hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen, so this video can be circulated within the YouTube algorithm.
Was it Mama Dawn the last time that she said something that I thought was
Yeah, you thought she cussed?
Yeah, I don't remember what it was, but it was something. And I was like, come on.
She said something like she said something like shut down, and you thought she said
yeah.
That was so funny, dude. Oh my God.
And that was like right at the end of a show too. Oh.
That was hilarious, man.
Yeah.
Mama Don, I never heard you cuss, even when we do our live YouTubes. I know you don't cuss. That was just too funny. You just country. Southern.
I was thinking I might start a music channel.
Like an alternate?
Yeah, like another channel, like how you have Man, Husband, Father. I'll start another one where it's just because I jam out with some friends sometimes, and
oh, for real?
Yeah, and we could just record.
Like what? Like y'all like drums and all that too?
Yeah, I got a buddy with a set. I play my guitar. I got another buddy with a guitar. My roommate has a bass.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. I got a few friends with studios too in the area. I got, Donzo from El Donzo and Bees. Yeah. He's got a studio in his house. And then I know, have you ever heard of there's a local band called, oh my God, Style and Stereo?
No, I don't know if I heard of that one.
Okay. They're kind of more poppier, but there's a guy, Joe, who's like the front man of that, and he's got a studio too. And I've jammed with him a few times. So yeah, so I might be starting a music channel. If anybody wants to, let me know what you guys think in the chat. If I should start a music channel.
No, Beth Mitchum, ladies and gentlemen. Beth Mitchum is all those things. She's Mama Don, and she's also Scarlet. See, some of y'all ain't been around us a long time. Mama Don is an OG. When I first started my YouTube channel, Mama Don was the first person I talked to.
Mama Don's awesome.
She is a huge supporter of my channel too, as well. I was supposed to come visit her. Me and my wife and family were going to come and visit her, but she didn't want us to see her with her hair not being how she wanted to be.
To Mo's Gaming, I'm a big country guy, but I listen to just about everything. Not a big rap guy, though. We're getting you back here.
Raven, I play the drums too, bro. I put it on my channel. Woo! Hey, Bloomington Normal. We are back here at Cities 92.9, the news to talk of Bloomington Normal. I am Ty Smith, modern Renaissance man, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here, 309-451-9299. You can text the show at the same number. Come check me out on YouTube. Type in Modern Renaissance Man, and you will see a thumbnail that says Breaking Larry Elder's powerful interview on The Breakfast Club destroys the agenda. And you will see me interacting with you. You interacting with me. All right, folks. So before we took the break, you guys all heard me going in about this situation, about how there are things out there that you can have to where it can be perception can become greater than reality. And my point is saying that is that a lot of things, how we were designed to be as men, how we were designed to operate, they can turn those things around and go completely against it and have you guys looking at it as if we're trying to be misogynistic, egotistic, bigoted, beating our chest and tearing you down when all along you have no idea we do that to protect you. And what I did, I told you guys that in the medical field, you know, a lot of patients, especially when I did a lot of clinical work, I would get a chart and I would see that the people are on a bunch of 2-3 different types of antidepressants, which is crazy. And majority of those people were women. And out of that cluster of people that were women, 90+% of them, those women, they were single women and they were career women, or some of them were married, but they had careers that kept them pretty much from being home. I'm just telling y'all the truth. So my point is telling you guys all that is that a lot of people think that women try to say, well, the reason why is because you men, y'all won't go in and get no, it's because we weren't designed that way. We don't, I mean, that look, temperament can be different amongst us, but you're going to rarely find men who's going to be on antidepressants. Why? Because we handle stress as different. A lot of things that get you women all worked up and all the things like that, we are not fazed by it. I've been married for 22 years and I'm not putting my business out there, but I'm telling you, there are some things that can upset my wife, but it won't faze me. My wife can come in, I can't believe that this happened and and they did it. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, hey, just it's all right. Hey, who cares? Like, they're mad. See, y'all get what I'm saying? My point in saying all that is this. We were meant to handle things differently. And that's the reason why people think that you guys think that we're trying to limit you and keep you from stuff, when all along it's actually to protect you. And the last comment I made before I bring the caller on was, people think that Dylan Mulvaney and Bud Light had something to do with the fact that he's trans. It don't. How many commercials and videos and movies got trans stuff in it? It had everything to do with real men stood up and said, this dude is sitting here mocking women. Dylan Mulvaney made it seem like y'all were stupid, like y'all didn't know what sports were. Y'all didn't know what March Madness were and all this and that. That's what made it messed up. We stood up for y'all because he was mocking women. We don't give a good goddamn don't care if you trans dude. Come on, really? Really? Now he's now, you know, I'm gonna digress, man, because now Dylan Mulvaney's saying he's a lesbian now. So anyway, he's always been a dude. He just grifted the living daylights out of y'all. Smart play on him, millionaire, charging $40,000 to go and speak an engagement to teach women how to be better women. Yeah, okay. Let me digress on that. Anyway, got a call on the line. We all know who this is. What's going on, Scarlett Mama Don Beth Mitchum?
She hung up.
What? You gonna hang up on me like that? You know what? Okay, I got you. But anyway, so guys, to get ready to get to the meat of this whole thing, we don't have that long left in here, is that Larry Elder went on to the Breakfast Club with Charlamagne the God, and he has some good points to bring up in here, and I want you guys to listen to a few of them right here, okay? So while he was on the Breakfast Club, he wanted to bring up some points, and Charlamagne the God is the guy that Joe Biden interviewed with, and he made a comment that just should have just made black people really say, wait, what? He made a comment that said, you ain't black. So listen to Larry Elder being on here with Charlamagne the God.
Give me a second.
Most people who are behind bars because they committed a violent crime against somebody else. And often the black people who are behind bars committed a violent crime against another black person.
Well, when I'm talking about mass incarceration, I'm not talking about violent crimes. I'm talking about nonviolent crimes, particularly the war on drugs. I was very clear in what I said.
I agree with you that I believe that the drug problem should be dealt with as a health problem rather than a criminal justice problem. But most people are not behind bars for using drugs or for dealing drugs. They're behind bars for having committed a violent act against another person. Well, we didn't really get into mass incarceration, but most people who are behind bars.
When Larry Elder is talking about, this lady brought up a point, and they tried to say they see systemic racism. They said their way of showing systemic racism is showing that there's a mass incarceration among black people. Now the question gonna come into it. Well, who is the one that's committing the? See, this is what I'm saying. This is what gets me. If you don't mind, Kev, can you bring up the next clip? Because I want to try to tie all this stuff in together. I know we don't have a long time. I know we're killing this in here, y'all. But he's gonna bring up another clip here in a second. But what I want to tell y'all is this: their way of saying that there is still systemic racism going on in here is the mass incarceration of blacks. That's their way of saying it. So let's listen to this clip right here as well. Check this out.
Also supported school choice. He also did the First Step Act, which allowed about 5,000 mostly black men with long criminal sentences, nonviolent, to have their sentences reduced an average of 70 months per. He pardoned Jack Johnson, the first black heavyweight champion. Even Barack Obama didn't do that. Yeah, he did an extraordinary job for black people. Donald Trump.
Now, let's play one more clip for you guys here. I want y'all to hear one more because like I told you guys, we're going to tie this all together. And again, this has a lot to do with this current thing that they're trying to say, the systemic racism. So here's the next clip.
I'm acutely aware, Charlemagne, that I'm a black person, just as you are a black person. And when Joe Biden insulted you by saying, you ain't really black, we don't know whether or not you want to vote for me or vote for Donald Trump, it seems to me that should have been a wake-up call on your part. How dare this guy come in here and insult you, a black man, and tell you you got to think a certain kind of way? I'm amazed that you weren't mad about that.
I'm not gonna say it upset me, just like I'm not letting you upset me. You know what I mean? I don't tend to get upset over things like that. But what I did say,
well, you just not talk about a wake-up call, and it seemed to me that should have been a wake-up call on your part to have a white guy come in here who also said, by the way, about Mitt Romney, because he didn't want to put more regulations on Wall Street, going to put y'all back in chains. And Joe Biden has lied for decades about his civil rights record, claiming that he desegregated movie theaters and restaurants in Wilmington, Delaware, when he didn't do any of that. He lied and said that he tried to visit Nelson Mandela during apartheid South Africa. He did not. And he came in here and told you aren't even black and let you think a certain kind of way. It seems to me that should have been a wake-up call for you, but it wasn't, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, no, for the record, I'm not a Democrat or Republican.
I didn't say you were.
I think both.
I don't know what you are. I never even asked you about your party affiliation. I'm just saying, but you are black. And to have a white guy come in here and tell you have to say think a certain kind of way, otherwise you, quote, ain't black. Wow.
How should I have replied to him, you think?
What I just now said, how dare you insult me and tell me I think as a human being, let alone as a black person? I don't tell you how to think, Joe Biden. How dare you come in here and tell me how I should think? I'm going to vote for Donald Trump if I want to vote for Donald Trump. And if I want to vote for Donald Trump, it does not make me not black. 20% of black people, black men, as I said, voted for Donald Trump in 2020. Are they not black now? So only 80% of black people, black men walking around are really black. 20% are not because they voted for Donald Trump. How insulting is that? How condescending is that?
There we go. So that's what I'm saying. Y'all heard all that, right? You guys just got in hearing that. What's amazing to me, what's really amazing is, look, I'm just being real with y'all. Charlemagne was not insulted by that. And Larry Elder's like, you weren't insulted. Look, I'm just being real with y'all. You want to know why? It's nothing more than false emotions that they want y'all to portray when they want you to portray them. I told y'all, in the hood, man, I'm telling y'all, in the hood, we grew up with white guys, grew up with Asian people, Latino people. A lot of us dropped the N-bomb to each other left and right. But we didn't do it as the way that they're making it out to be right now. My point is saying that Charlemagne didn't get offended by that because he probably saw no problem with that. He didn't care. He didn't care, right? But what I am saying is this. He asked him specifically, what do you see as being systemic? And Charlemagne brought up mass incarceration, right? And Larry Elder, as you guys just got done hearing, broke it all down. There's a woman on here that asked Larry Elder a question. She said, I get what you're saying. Fathers need to be in the homes, which y'all heard me talking about earlier. Fathers need to be in the home. She said, I get that. She said, but this system that you're talking about, she was referring to like affirmative action, welfare system. She said, what color are the people that's behind that? Who are they? And Larry Elder said, Democrats. She was like, no, now I'm being real. Larry was being evasive. He was trying to avoid that. She said, what color are the people that's behind that? And Larry Elder still tried to tiptoe around the question. He said, well, they're Democrats. She said, no. I know that they're Democrats. She said, but the people who are pushing out affirmative action, like, Lyndon B. Johnson stuff, welfare. She said, what color are those individuals that's behind that system? And Larry Elder essentially didn't really answer her, but he ended up saying Lyndon B. Johnson is white. Now, what I'm saying this to you guys for is this. If you said, okay, Ty, what color are the people that's behind the system that's pushing all this stuff on us? I would say, yeah, depending on where it's at, I would say that they are white. But at the same time, check this out, though. Who put those people in place to push those systems on us? We did. You voted for the very thing that is detriment to you. Oh, Ty, come on. No. Listen to what I just got done saying. I don't care what color the person is that's behind the system. If it's wrong, if it's damning, if it's detrimental, I don't care what color the person is behind it. What I care about is who voted them in charge to carry out that agenda, to carry out that policy. We did, black people, and we continue to do it. I'll raise you another one. What color was the last mayor up in Chicago? Black.
Beetlejuice.
What color was she? She was black. What color is the current mayor of Chicago right now? Black. Tell me right now, black folks. Tell me right now. Y'all voted that in. Tell me, has anything gotten better for y'all up there because you got some black representation? But guess what? So what are we talking about right now? Who voted them in? So you can go all day long about systemic racism. Look, you can argue systemic racism all you want to, but what I care about is the ones who are formulating this evil agenda to put us in these so-called disadvantaged positions, to put us in these so-called redliners, to put us in these poor public school, poor housing. The crazy thing about that is that you are putting those individuals in charge, whether they are black or white. We, the people, are voting them in. And then you want to cry racism. This is what you wanted. So that's what I'm saying. This whole thing to Larry Elder, when he got in there, he pretty much destroyed the agenda. And that's why this entire show, if you've really been listening, it had everything to do with us needing to have strong men, real men. There is no such thing as toxic masculinity. You heard it here. There is no such thing as toxic masculinity, folks. It doesn't exist. It's made up because they want all of us men to walk around being all soft and sissified. And if you display any kind of masculinity, oh my God, shut up. That's exactly, y'all have no, I'm telling y'all, they know who I'm talking about. The snow cone, color-haired, social justice warriors crew around Bloomington. Y'all get checked all the time. I don't even speak to y'all. I just give y'all a look and y'all already know what's up. Don't you even. But I know there's other people that y'all have gone to, but y'all don't try that with me. Why? You're so toxic. You can say what you want to. Y'all do it all day long on the internet, but you never say it when you see me out and about. We'll hit on this a little bit more when we come back, folks. We're getting ready to take a break here at Season 92.9 and do is talk of Bloomington Normal.
One thing I wanted to bring up real quick, too, is that I hear this a lot when I talk to people, is Charlemagne did this when he was talking to Larry. It's when Larry makes a really good point and Charlemagne is being perceived in the past as being sometimes more liberal. He goes, well, just remember, I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. And I hear that from people all the time. And I'm like, we were not talking about what you identify as. We were talking as the facts here of what the topic was. In this case, it was Trump and racism, I believe, or it was Biden's. I don't remember which clip it was, but either way, I always hate when people are just like, well, I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. And I was like, well, I don't really give a shit.
Right. Who nobody ever said. What was the fact that they would even want to let you know, that almost make you think, why were you insinuating that I was even calling you one?
Mm-hmm.
Like we're talking about the fact that as a black man, Joe Biden said to your face, if you don't know if you want to vote for me or Trump, then you ain't black. He didn't say that you ain't Republican or Democratic. He said that you ain't black. Literally insulted the very being, the very fabric of what you're supposed to be as a black man, and you let him say it. But then he tried to flip around on Larry Elder and say, well, I'm just like right now, I'm not letting you upset me.
But it just happens so many times where it's just like somebody will be like, I'll be having a conversation with somebody and they'll like obviously disagree with me a little bit on something. And then I'll like lay out the facts and everything. And instead of them being like, oh my gosh, you're right. Like their way of saying that is like, oh, well, I'm not like really a Democrat or a Republican. Like I'm just open to all ideas. And I'm just like, okay, so that's your way of saying you beat me and I don't have anything else to say.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with you being proven wrong at all. Y'all have no idea how many times I've been proven wrong. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. I am Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here, area code 309-451-9299, and you can text the show at that same number. Check me out on YouTube. Go onto YouTube, type in Modern Renaissance Man, and you will see a thumbnail that says, breaking news, Larry Elder's powerful interview on The Breakfast Club destroys the agenda. And ladies and gentlemen, I just play a few clips of Larry Elder speaking about the agenda that's being brought forth. And this agenda that we're talking about is there's racism in everything. There's systemic racism in everything. And Larry Elder completely doesn't believe that there is systemic racism at all. He just don't believe it. And the reason why he doesn't, because he says, look where we're at right now. Look where we're at right now as a society. We're not where we used to be. And then he had people that will bump heads with him, people that like to buck up against him and try to show him proof. And their proof is, well, the proof that they try to present is the reason why we know that there's racism. He said, give me an example. They said mass incarceration. There's way more black people in prisons than there are white people. Actually, it's not true. That's not true at all. I don't know if y'all know that. That's not true. But if you do want to go down that road, this is what's really interesting. How is it that black people make up about 12% of the population, while white people make up about 60%? How is it that black people, only being 12% of the population, commit almost half or a little over half of all the crimes? Then he tried to come out, but Charlamagne the God said no, but they're in jail because of they're not in jail because of violent crimes. Larry Elder said a very small percentage of black people that are incarcerated because of drugs are in there because of drugs. Majority of them are violent crimes, and 95% of those violent crimes are black people against black people. All right, what are you saying all that for? We always, listen to me, like the lady did. Well, what color is the people behind that system then? Why aren't you looking in your own house? And if y'all didn't catch the whole interview, but I would urge y'all to do this. In the interview, Larry Elder he got asked the same question that I got asked. And I'm not gonna lie to you, Larry Elder, you know I call you my uncle. I got videos with you. You know I said this statement to you that you said to Charlamagne the God. When me and Larry Elder had a talk when we got invited to the White House, Larry Elder, I told him, because he likes my channel, shout out to Larry Elder. He said, I love how you always relate, how you handle speaking engagements and certain issues like you handle your home. That's what he said to me. He said, I love how you do that. He said, I love how you would sit there and say, whenever your sons would do something and they try to get out of it, they always try to say, well, my friend, and you're like, no, I'm not concerned about your friend. I'm talking about you. So what I'm saying that for is if y'all go watch this interview, and I got like chills over it a little bit, because Larry Elder, they said, Charlamagne the God said to him, how come you always talk about black people? He said, what do white people do wrong? Larry Elder said, I'm not concerned about white people. I'm concerned about what black people are doing wrong. I'm like, oh, nice. The reason why I'm saying that is because that's one of the things I get all the time to the ones that know. When I go to these speaking engagements, y'all say that to me all the time. Why are you always talking about black people? Because if supposedly black people, if you're supposed to be my people, just like my children are my children, my concern is going to be about what you're doing. And if we always talking about the issues of the black community, how to fix the black community, I'm coming to you with the tools on how we got to fix it. But here's the thing. Shout out to the caller, Rachel. Rachel, if you're still in here, God bless you. Here's the thing, Rachel. When you said we got to quit doing the blame game, we got to quit doing the blame game. We absolutely cannot do that. We have to call out the evil, the unlawfulness, the bad. We have to call out all those things. When we call those things out and we see them for what they are, we have to address it. We have to take care of the situation. We can't just let it go. And we just can't say, I just want all of y'all to, they don't love God. I just want everybody to know they don't. They want to rob you. They don't care. You have to show that there's going to be law, there's going to be discipline, there's going to be repercussions for what you do, period. So what am I saying that for? As a father, I learned a lot of my skills from being a father with my sons. No. When my sons got in trouble, my son would try to say, but dad, he did this and then you did. No. I'm talking about what you just did. But I mean, no. You can try to blame it on somebody else. Look, you can try to blame it on somebody else. I'm talking about what you did and what I'm getting ready to get you for, because you're going to be punished for what you did. Because why? You have to understand you are not going to be able to continue to do these things, because if you do, those things are going to turn to your attitude. It's going to become a part of your behavior. You're going to go and do these things in the real world. There's going to be punishment for it, period. So what am I saying that for? When folks get upset at me, you always talking down on black people. Y'all are the same type of individual with the mindset or what my sons did. How come I always get in trouble? You always spanking me, daddy. You always doing something wrong. What are we talking about? But guess what? That only lasted with my children probably up to the age of 10. After 10 years old, my sons them didn't get in trouble no more. You want to know why? All the crazy attitudes, the crazy behavior, the crazy things they could have formulated, any type of testing to see if dad got a weakness. No way did I let it happen. And that's why my sons are the men, you heard me? That's why they are the men that they are today. That's why a lot of my mentees that I mentor, that's why they are the men that they are today. They got wives, they got families, careers. And they would tell you, man, hey, Mr. Ty did not play around. Mr. Ty did not play around, man. He didn't play around. You want to know why? We made sure that we addressed the issue at hand. It's about breaking those behaviors, those attitudes that's in them and focusing it somewhere else. But it has to be broken, ladies and gentlemen, which is why I'm telling y'all right now, you heard it first here at Season 92.9. Once Ty Smith run for office in anything, trust me when I tell you, that disciplinary spirit is going to be king to being good for a city, to being good for a state, to be good for a county. It does not matter. It's going to be about law and order. I don't care who you are, what you do, what color you are. If you are doing something that's going to be a freaking menace to society, I am the type of individual, I am going to be straight hard on it. Because the stuff has to stop. It has to stop. Too long has it gone on, and folks just willy-nillying by it. Too long are people just completely having hatred for the ones who's supposed to have law and order. I back the blue. I'm for law and order. And for the ones that's going to get upset about this, I'm telling you right now. I'm telling y'all right now. Bloomington Normal, y'all better wake up. Central Illinois, y'all better wake up. Because if I get into office on anything, my number one thing that I'm going to get a complaint on, he's so hard on crime. Dude, y'all better hope I don't. If you retire, it was just petty theft. You either going to go to boot camp for 2 months or you're going to be in jail for a year. He just stole a candy bar. You either going to go to boot camp. Look, I'm joking, folks. I'm joking. I will be a reasonable person. My point is, I want it to be known and I want it to be seen that we do not play around with unlawfulness. We do not play around with people thinking that they can do what they want to. We do not play around with people thinking they can disrespect, hit, throw stuff at law enforcement. We don't. It has gone on too long. And right now, for the ones who thought it was a good idea to do this, look what we have right now. Look what we have going on in our nation right now. We have a bunch of emotional, crybaby, sissified on both sides people who think that they're entitled to everything, going around thinking that they know what righteousness is. But look how terrible things are. You have to have structure or you're going to have chaos. And that's the reason why we have chaos right now. The title of the show says, Larry Elder's powerful interview on The Breakfast Club destroys the agenda. It's all about this agenda that they're trying to push. And I'm telling you right now, if you don't take anything away from this show at all, men, it is going to come down to us. A lot of women getting ready to take what I'm saying and take it all out of proportion and take it where they want to. I do not care. We have to do what we was purposed and designed to do. Period. We have to rule. We have to put things in place. We have to put structure in place. We have to put things in place so there can be stability despite of how much crying anybody is doing. Whether it's women, whether it's soft men, whether it's their feelings, it does not matter, because the whole purpose of this is to keep everyone structured, is to keep everyone stable. That is what we were designed to do. That is why you see things crumbling right now, because we let a whole lot of people with these so-called, they thought was going to be good ideas, we let them into these spaces, and look what we have right now. Stuff is just falling apart. Things are just crumbling. Everybody's soft. Everybody's crybabies. You can't say nothing to anybody. White people can't say nothing to black people. You can't say anything right now because you're afraid. And that's exactly what they wanted. And that, to me, does not show strength. That does not show that you're strong. So individuals like us, I'm telling you right now, I can do another segment about women, but that's not what I'm talking about. Men, step the heck up. Even if it's in your own home. Be and do what God called you to do. What he designed for you to be. You have to. Show it in your home and we can show it in the world. Folks, I appreciate you guys all tuning in. We got to get ready to close the show up. Y'all know how I do here. I am Ty Smith, modern Renaissance man, and I hope and pray that every last one of you guys that's listening to me, I pray that you have food, shelter, and clothing, and most of all, I pray that every last one of you guys are in great health, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus. Appreciate you guys all being here, folks. We're going to catch y'all later, all right?